Hi Stampers, this is Trevis. Welcome to Video Friday. And so today we're going to make the third card that I made at my March Stamp Lovers class. And so if you attended, this could help you if you want to see the measurements and things like that. But if you did not attend, this is a very cute card and I hope you enjoy it. So I'm going to get started. I'm going to show you a couple cards I just made using that Bargello technique, Bargello. And I did a video on this back in January. I think it was January 17th. But every card looks different, right? So depending on what designer series paper you use, every card looks different. And I just love these two, so I have to share them. Okay, so I'm going to put the camera down and then we're going to show you these two cards and then I'm going to get started. So this is the first card that I made and you can see I used just leftover DSP. I did add some glimmer paper, some gold foil. I did pop a couple of them up and then I used Best Wishes and I stamped that in Granny Apple Green using with, what the heck's the name of that? With You in Mind. So that's a nice big Best Wishes. Punched it out with the punch that is currently in the mini catalog. I think it's actually in the online exclusives. So this is a very, very cute technique. I just had a little strip left, so I put it inside. Here's the other card I made. I did make both of these birthday cards. I left the gap here for the happy birthday, and then on the inside, I just had an extra strip of that, so I put that inside. So this is a cute technique, and I mean to tell you, depending on how you lay your strips, it's so fun. So check it out if you haven't already. Okay, so I am going to, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to show you the finished card. Okay, there's the finished card, and I'm going to cut the cardstock that I need to use. I'm using Petunia Pop. You can see I'm using Petunia Pop there, and you need 2 pieces cut. The first piece you need is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, and that is your card base. Okay, so you need that, just this. All right, Petunia Pop, and then you need a strip for this part. Okay, and that is 2 3/4 by 11. So I'm going to cut that. I did not cut that in advance, so I'm going to cut that now. Okay, so 2 3/4 by 11, scored at 5 1/2. Okay, have that done now. And I'm going to fold that in half. So those are the 2 pieces of cardstock that you need. You're also going to need to cut one of these. If you have a punch, just punch it out of something you have, a punch you have or a die, whatever. I used the die from Mixed Labels. And I love this die. I love this whole set, actually. This die right here, it makes that cute little edge on the top and the bottom when you cut it out. So, and then I'm using with Sympathy from that set also. And I'm going to stamp that in Memento Black. It's a cheerful Sympathy card, but it's okay. I like cheerful. And I think if, somebody's going to heaven, it's a cheerful time. So, that's just my thoughts. All right, now before I get started, I'm going to teach you how to use masks. So Thankful Garden is actually in this bundle. Okay, so here's the stamp set I'm going to be using. I'm also going to use the die to cut that out, but I'm going to be using the Thankful Garden masks, decorative masks, to color it in, and it's so super easy. So before I do that, I'm going to lay down some designer series paper. Okay, so this is actually from Lovely Garden, and I'm going to show you the little trick. I'm not going to use a whole piece. You can use a 4 by 5 1/4 if you want, but these are just 1-inch strips, 1 inch by 5 1/4, and it will save you designer series paper, and trust me, you will be happy because you can get a lot more out of your designer series paper. Okay, so this does have an up and a down, and I see I'm doing it this way, okay? So you can see that the vines are going up, so I want to make sure that I get both sides going the right way. Okay, and then I'm going to lay this on top. So as you can see, this piece of 2 3/4 by 11 is actually going to hide that big blank spot. And this is, since this is 5.5, it's going to go all the way to the top of the card. And it's going to go all the way to the bottom. All right. So make sure that's a nice crisp fold. Okay, so we have that ready. Now, I told you I'm going to teach you how to do masking, and this is a cool technique, and it's so easy. So the first thing you want to do is, you don't have to, but I like to stamp the stamp in Memento first. You don't have to. You can actually use the masks without stamping the image, and it gives it a much softer look, but I like doing it this way. Okay, so I'm just going to stamp this down. Voila. Now, at this point, if you don't have the masks, you could color this in. You can leave it black and white. It looks cool black and white also. But you could color this in with your blends or your water painters or chalks or whatever medium you have. It's awesome. But we're going to use the masks. So mine are inked up because I've used them quite a bit lately, but they are numbered at the top. So you get 5 masks. I think they're $13. It's item number 165538, and you can barely see the numbers up here. So I just took my Sharpie marker and I wrote the numbers bigger so I could see them. Okay, so you have 5 masks. They actually color both flowers and both leaves. So cool. Now I'm going to be using a couple different colors. I'm going to be using Fresh Freesia, Petunia Pop. This is going to make the flower work. And then I'm just going to use Garden Green for the leaves. I'm going to teach you how to do that with just 1 pad. I don't recommend using more than 3 pads to do this technique, but hey, if you want to try whatever you want to try, I get it. I'm going to use my tape. I'm just going to tape this down on my glass. Then I'm going to use another piece of tape, and I'm actually going to teach you how these masks work. So this is the one I'm going to do, and you want to turn it this way so that you can see the number. And then I'm going to lay it down on top of the flower, okay? Now, these little notches here, you want to, since this is glass and I don't really want to write on my glass, I'm going to put this down, okay, so I can write on it. And now I'm going to, well, I kind of could move it over a little bit. Okay, whatever, Trevis. Lay this down, and then take your marker or a pencil, whatever, and you're going to make your notch over here, just like that. So it's easy to line up all of the masks this way. I'm going to be using my my blender brushes, okay, and I'm going to pick up some ink, and I'm going to do this very lightly. I'm not going to give it a whole lot of pressure. Very lightly. Okay. Look at that. So if you're using your phone or however you watch, you can zoom in now. Okay, so now I'm going to, again, line this notch up, and I'm just going to move this down so that my flower is lined up, and the notch should be lined up also. I'm going to continue using Fresh Freesia. Now I'm going to go in a little darker. And pull up a little more Fresh Freesia color on there. Look at that. It's so gorgeous. Okay, the next one is number 3. And again, you're going to line that up. Now I'm going to use the Petunia Pop. So Petunia Pop ink. Line that up. Line it up on your flower. Line up your notch. And now I'm going to go in and I'm going to pull up a lot of color, right? This is a darker purple, so it's really going to make this pop, as in Petunia Pop. Haha. Okay, look at that. It's so gorgeous. All right, the flower is done. How easy. How easy. I mean, it's so much faster than coloring it with any other medium. Number 4, I'm going to do the same thing now. Now this time I'm going to use my Garden Green. And I'm going to just pull it up a little bit. I don't want it too dark. Line up my notch. I'm pulling in a little light green. Now, if you like that, you can stop. There's nothing that says you have to go on, but this is what makes it so beautiful in my little brain. Line up the notch. Line up the leaves. Go in, and now I'm going to put some more pressure on it. Because I want to really make those veins of the leaves stand out. And look at that. So beautiful. Now, if you have the dies that come with the Thankful Garden bundle, you will take your die and you will just cut this out. Okay. So I have the die right here. And I'll lay this down like that. And the magic, I'm running through my cut and emboss, okay? And the magic, there it is. All right, I put dimensionals on the back, plenty of them, and now this is ready to go. Can you see the beautiful colors in there and how that does all the work for you? All right, now let's put our card together. I also cut a piece. I love, love, love this die. This is actually from another bundle. Yeah, I know. This is actually from the Mixed Florals. So this is from the Mixed Florals dies. I did put some sticky on the back. So I put the adhesive sheets on the back. And then this is the Mixed Florals. And I'm in love with this, and I've used it a ton. But this die from Mixed Florals is this one. Okay, so I went ahead and I cut that out ahead of time. I just didn't want this video to go forever. Okay, and now I am going to bring back in my partially completed card, if I can find it. Somewhere here. What did I do with it? I've been throwing stuff around like crazy. Well, I have this piece. What did I do with my partially created card? I have so much product going on right here. Well, here's the thing. I have this one. This is partially created. So all I did was I used a piece of designer series paper from, this is from Mixed Media, and you can see the back of it. Yeah, it was hard for me to cut it up, but I did. And because I love this blue side, I thought this looked really good with this flower. So I went ahead and I glued that on. And now I'm just going to peel off this backing. So it's self-stick now. There's little pieces that don't come loose because I think there was, when I did my adhesive sheets, there were some little pieces that I had to use. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to stick this down almost to the bottom. Actually, I think I am going to make it all the way to the bottom. I don't want my leaves floating. I want them adhered. Okay, so we have that. Now I'm going to go ahead and adhere the flower. And as I said, I used a lot of dimensionals because it's kind of a big flower. So it needs a lot of dimensionals, especially if you're going to mail it. You definitely don't want your flower falling off in the mail. So now you can see the beautiful colors coordinating with this paper. Okay, I have the piece of white for the inside because that petunia pop is really kind of dark to write on. So I'm going to go ahead and put that on the inside of the card. This is 2.5 by 5 1/4. Okay, now I have this little die, and this is what I'm going to write with Sympathy, stamp rather, with Sympathy. I'm going to do this in black, Memento black. It's going to stamp with Sympathy on there. So at this point, you can stamp, if you have a punch you like or a different die, different label die, use that, whatever, okay? And I am going to put a couple dimensionals on here also. How about 3? Whoa. Got these things flying everywhere. Okay, so I have that ready. Now I'm going to be honest here. I'm using some linen thread that is retired. This is Naturals linen thread, Natural Tones linen thread that came in a 3-pack. I think it was in the last mini catalog. And it had copper, it had navy, and it had garden green. And I was like, oh, I really need some baker's twine or some linen thread. So I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to roll this on my hand like that. And I'm going to attach this to the back of this. All right. So if you don't have any of this and you just use any kind of linen thread or white, baker's twine, anything you have, just something that'll kind of look cute. Okay. So now I'm just going to adhere this right here to my card. And that is it. That is the end of the card, and I love it. So it does have some place for you to sign. Again, you could make this an anything card. You can make it a birthday card. I love it. And thanks for watching today. My name's Trevis Bossler, a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in St. Louis, Missouri. And I have to tell you, I am so excited. I have new followers, lots of new followers, and I have some of you have been purchasing from me now, and I really, really appreciate it. I have Donna, Virginia. I have Joy. Joy actually lives here in Missouri, but you other ladies are out of state, and I really appreciate your business. It's really means a lot to me, truly, that you are watching me and you like my videos. Thanks for watching today, and I will see you on Tuesday. Have a great weekend, and I'll see you then. Bye.